Welcome to everyone. My name is Kat. Mornings. I'm extremely happy that you all joined here today. The event was sold out, and I'm so happy to see all of you here. It's the Black Friday, but in the whole commercial atmosphere, I hope that we will get some inspiration this morning for a change. Before we go into the talk, I'm going to say a few words about CreativeMornings, for whom this may be the first time they're attending. So maybe let's just start with a quick show of hands. Who is it the first time to be here today? Wow! So exciting. Welcome. And to those who are coming back, welcome back. CreativeMornings, 1 second. Yes. For those who don't know it yet, I will just say a few words. So CreativeMornings is actually a concept that's developed in the US a while ago, when there was this idea of having creative talk, free breakfast, and an inspiring morning. So we are very happy to be able to do those events here in Munich as well. We do events once a month. Usually we opt for the last Friday in the month, so stay tuned for the next events to come. There are over 200 cities around the world who are part of CreativeMornings concept, and I always invite everyone who is traveling to actually look if there is a CreativeMornings session taking place in the cities that you may be visiting. We have over 20,000 attendees per month, which is huge, and it's growing. And here in Munich, we are growing as well. So I always invite people who love CreativeMornings to next time bring a friend, so that we grow the Munich community as well and have great events happening once a month. I would like to say a huge thanks to Elsa, namely to Sarah and to Ella, for welcoming us here today, because the location, the free coffee and breakfast wouldn't have been possible without them. So I would like you ladies to join me here and tell a few words about what Elsa is, what is this beautiful location that we're in today, and how can we find you on social networks, or how can we know a bit more about you?
All right. Well, a warm welcome from us, from Elsa. This is Sarah, and this is Ella. And if you take Ella and Sarah together, it's Elsa.
Not an ice princess.
Not the So we were before the ice princess. So we founded in 2014, and we have here this location, and we have a digital agency. We are doing everything which is surrounded by software, digital concepts, design, and we are specified in user experience and user interface design, focusing on the human being who is ever using the digital products. We are working with big agencies, we're working with big companies, I'm not allowed to tell. And so we are very happy that you guys are all here. And Ella will tell you a bit more.
Yeah, so, and I will tell you why Elsa is special. It's not just us. Yeah, it's the people. We have great people. We have talented people here. We founded this place to have a great place to work for us and the great people we find. We have this location, which is selected because it's this cozy and not an ordinary flat, so you can all enjoy it today. And what else makes us special is that I forgot something. I forgot our co, because we're not Elsa, we're Elsa and Co. Yeah. And because we love kids, I'm the mother of 2. We have a network of freelance digital moms who support us every now and then when we need something. And the third thing is we are a family. We have a working and a living style here. We cook together every day, fresh food, and as we have the Isar, we jump into the Isar. Not now.
We have 2 bathrooms. So we have 2 bathrooms with a shower and a bathtub, so you can easily go,
you can go
for a run and then come back. That's what I do.
And nearby English garden we use for a walk or jogging or brainstorming. So yeah. And what has this all to do with all of you? Well, all pixel lovers and UX enthusiasts here, we are hiring. So drop us a mail. We are looking forward.
Yeah, and now enjoy the talk and have still a bit breakfast left. So yeah,
Thank you so much. I would also like to say a very big thanks to our videographers and photographer. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible to have our events spread to so many other people. You can also always check out Creative Mornings webpage to see how other chapters, other cities are tackling the same topics. So this month's topic is Lost, and in different cities around the world, in the month of November, everyone is talking about Lost with different kind of angles. So in case this theme inspires you, go ahead and have some more inspiration on the web. I'm also saying big thanks to our global sponsors, Mailchimp and WordPress, without whom we wouldn't be able to spread the news to so many of you. And the last thing before we go into the talk, this is our team. We are a team of organizers who meet once a month to prepare all those great events. If you have any questions for us, you can find us by our text, so don't hesitate to just approach us and ask any questions you may have later on after the event. Now, before we go into the talk, in case you would like to spread the news, in case you get inspired, in case you would like to post a picture of this beautiful location, these are the hashtags that we are using. You can also see them around on different posters. We are always happy when people are spreading the word about our events, because of course we're looking to grow the audiences and we're looking to spread the word to more people, so don't hesitate to tag us in your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any kind of post that you may be having. And now, the topic is Lost, and I will kindly invite Stephanie to join me on the stage. So Stephanie, I'm super excited to have you here. Stephanie is a co-founder of a great agency, The Story of the Fish, but she's much more than this. She's a really eager young entrepreneur, and I'm super happy to have you here with us today and extremely excited about your talk. So the stage is yours, Stephanie. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Just have a quick look outside. And as you can see, it's quite gray. And okay, you can't feel it anymore that it's cold because it's actually quite warm in here, but it's cold. So it's November, and I'm really impressed that so many of you were able to make it that early. So thank you for that. And I'm even more impressed, or maybe a little bit shocked, that you actually came around to listen to a topic which is called Lost. So heavy month, heavy topic. So really, thank you a lot. But as we all know, in 2 days, December starts. So after November, December follows. And with December, we know there are Christmas lights everywhere. We can already see people bustling around on the Christmas markets. We will drink hot punch. We already can smell the cinnamon in the air and also the first snow. And also with Christmas ahead, we are really looking forward to celebrate with our family and friends. And this warm feeling you have within you right now, this warm feeling is my goal for today, that you will have that in the end when you think of the topic Lost. And with Christmas ahead, I also would like to start with a Christmas story. Perfect, with the Christmas tree. And this Christmas story is every fourth Advent in the German newspaper Welt am Sonntag. And every fourth Advent, my mom reads that story out loud. And as you can see, it's from the 22nd December 2002. So you can imagine how often I already heard that story. I find that really impressive and also maybe a little bit creepy, but she kept it. And this story I would like to share now because it's the story of Virginia. Virginia is 8 years old, and she wrote to the British newspaper The Sun a letter. And the letter is like that. Okay, now I need notes. Dear editor, I'm 8 years old, and some of my little friends say there is no Santa Claus. Papa says if you see it in the sun, it's so. So please tell me the truth. Is there a Santa Claus? And yeah, this was in 1897, and she got an answer. She got an answer of the editor Francis Church, and Francis Church wrote a lot, and I don't want to read it out loud, the whole letter, but just some parts. Virginia, your little friends are wrong. They have been affected by a skepticism of a skeptical age. They do not believe except what they see. You tear apart, babies rattle, and see what makes the noise inside. But there's a wheel covering the unseen world. Only faith, fancy, poetry, love, romance can push aside that curtain and picture the beauty and glory beyond. Thank God Santa Claus lives, and he lives forever. 1,000 years from now, Virginia. No, 10 times, 10,000 years from now, he will continue to make glad the heart of childhood. Why do I tell you that story right now? And what has that actually to do with the topic lost? As a child, you believe. You believe you can be a superhero. You believe everything is possible. And you believe there is a Santa Claus. But when there is the first person who actually tells you there is no such thing as a Santa Claus, which Virginia experienced, then your world collapses and you start to think about the world in total differently. You start to feel lost. But what Francis Church told Virginia over 120 years ago, he can actually tell us right now as well. Believe. Believe in you. And with that, I would like to take you on my journey as a founder. So who is actually a founder here of a company, agency? Okay. And who founded less than 2 years ago? Okay. And who is under 25 years old? Okay, cool. So, I'm a founder, and today I'm exactly for 333 days a founder. Yeah, fun fact on the side. And I founded the creative agency, The Story of the Fish. And it's quite fresh for sure. But this is exactly the reason why Lost is my daily business. And I don't want to talk about a dramatic stroke, just about those small experiences where you actually feel lost. Because I think there are lots of them, and not only in a entrepreneurial life. And I can find a lot of myself in that little Virginia. Her naivety, her questioning, and also her rebellion of, no, I don't believe that, I'm convinced, and I just keep on going. I'm 24 years old, and when I founded The Story of the Fish, I was even 23 years old. And when my former creative director asked me after 4 years working together if I would like to join him to found our own creative agency, I actually did not hesitate at all. I just said yes. And so with pure euphoria and yeah, I was really excited and jumped into that world of being a founder. I studied business economics. This really doesn't mean at all that I know how to build a company. I actually had no clue. But I was always the person who first jumped into that deep cold water and then actually learned how to swim in the end. And when we founded the story of the fish, we had no client, and it was just the three of us. So another co-founder of me is here, Tanya. And so we were just the three of us. And we were lucky enough that we had in the beginning a huge project. And so daily business caught us straight away. But after 2 months of working hardly and just on that project, yeah, it was over. And then we were like, oh yeah, shit, there is actually no other client. And so life is a roller coaster. And the life roller coaster of an entrepreneur just started. So from a pure exciting feeling of being your own boss to, shit, reality caught us. And this was really, yeah, of course, I struggled with that a lot. Because I asked myself, how should I actually be able to convince other people to trust and to work with us with just 23 years old? And also, I could actually feel sometimes in client meetings or potential client meetings that they didn't take me seriously. They just looked at my former creative chief or director. Ah, yeah, he's the boss, and we are just the gorgeous looking ladies, his assistants. And yeah, it was a problem because I often did not speak up. And this leads to that I feel angry and also pity for myself. And of course, this leads to uncertainty, and uncertainty you really can see and feel in my appearance. And so it was all about, shit, I don't have the knowledge, I don't know how to behave, I don't know if that's the right way to do it. Actually, I want to quit my job. I want to have a safe environment again. I want to have a weekend. Yeah, to actually not think about my job anymore. So pure feeling of lost, you can imagine. Lost in thoughts, lost in questions, lost in life. And typical founder thoughts I found out after a while. And like I said, life is a roller coaster. And it's a common saying. And common saying are mostly clumsy, but they are often also true. So it goes down and up and down and up and down. And on this deepest point, on that life roller coaster, you mostly feel afraid, you feel anxious, you feel lost. And this could be triggered by your personal surrounding, your professional surrounding. This could also be a dramatic stroke, but also just those small, tiny experiences which throw you off the track. And especially as a founder, you have this specific entrepreneurial risk. So you contribute to the economy, but the success is uncertain. And this is what makes loss actually something which is in your daily business. It's the nature of founding. And furthermore, it lies in the nature of also taking a risk. Because loss is a place unknown. It's the place behind the comfort zone. So every time you step out of your comfort zone and you take a risk, you actually run into danger of feeling lost. But the function of a roller coaster, as I just said, is to go down and up and down and up. So it goes up. And this means that lost is not only a state which is unknown, it's not only the state behind the comfort zone, it is a state which forces you to handle. It's a state which forces you to not give up, to actually move up. It's a journey of try and error. And this is actually good, right? Because there is the perfect example, like a baby, it tries to take 2 steps and then it fell. It tries to take 2 steps and it then fell again till it actually can walk. And with some tears on that way, for sure, but in the end with no regret, because it actually did not give up and can walk. And we live in a society where performance is the key to success. So no failing is allowed. Just have a quick look on your LinkedIn stream, not right now, but you can see I can do that, I achieved that, I won that award, I'm so good in that. Great. But I often have the feeling that my motivation and my inspiration disappears if I only listen to success stories. So I'm convinced we should talk more about failures, about those low points in our life, about the state lost, to be more open and to be more human, because this is actually how we grow to become, or how we become stronger and better. Because lost is not more and not less than the beginning of found, to find back to reality, to find back to life, to find self-recognition, to find self-fulfillment, to find love and joy, to find yourself. And if we keep that in mind, that those unknown and negative situations, actually what we can, like how we see the moments of loss, if we see or have a look at them in a more optimistic, more positive way, this leads to gratitude, and gratitude leads to more power to continue your own way. And here I have a really good example. Who was at the Bits and Pretzels Founder Festival this year? Some of you. And have you, the few of you, listened to the keynote of the founder of Shazam, Chris Barton? No? Okay, cool, but then it's something new. Yeah, I think it was one of the most old-fashioned PowerPoint presentation, but the talk was quite impressive. And I don't want to share with you now the PowerPoint presentation, just actually 3 slides, which are still stuck into my mind. So, Shazam was founded in 2000, so 2 years after Google was founded. And as we all know, it's quite a cool app. You can track your music and your surrounding, and then the app will show you the interpret and the name of the song. So far, so cool. The crux, however, was that in 2000, there was this phone on the market. But what Shazam actually needed, oh, can you see it? No. what they actually needed was the iPhone. And on top of that, they needed the App Store. And the App Store was launched in 2008 by Apple. So they actually had to wait over 7 years to be finally able to share their innovation with the world and to be successful. And I really don't want to know how often they felt lost. I just told you about 1 year of founding, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to the rest. But they continued working on that innovation. They continued optimizing it. And the most important part, they never stopped believing in themselves. It's an extreme example, I know, but a really impressive one. There's another example I would like to share with you, which is closer to my personal surrounding. I come from an entrepreneurial family, so on my father's side, a bricks company. And they moved or shifted their businesses from Germany more and more over the years to Eastern Europe. And most of you know, in 2008, there was a financial crisis. And this financial crisis really overtook my family's business. And for the first time, I, as a teenager, could feel that my parents were afraid. They did not know what to do next. They felt lost. But my dad is an optimist, so he created a plan, and the plan was as followed. This shabby old tire factory, this property lied in my family because once a client paid off old scores with that beautiful building. And he said he wants to build a commercial property on it, offices, to land. You can imagine the reaction of my mom. She cried and said, "You're completely crazy," because he never did something like that before. No project lead in real estate branch. But with time and phases of up and downs, he was able actually to build a commercial property on it. And more important, he was able to get the tenant the main custom office. And the main custom office is one of the most valuable tenant you actually can have because it's the state, so it's really, really safe. And the value of this property increased enormously. And so you can see, loss is also really a catalyst for your unknown potential. And at this opening ceremony, someone told me, "Your father never sees the problem. He's always looking for the solution." And this is really something I took to heart. To come back to my journey as a founder, right now we are in a huge transition phase. We have, for the first time in our team, huge differences of opinions. So yeah, founding in a team is really, really great because you have sparring partners, you have your support, you have different expertise, but it's also really a huge risk factor because you have different characters, different opinions, different handling of stressful situation, and this also could be a really huge dispute factor. So no wonder that this is one of the most common reasons for breakups in the startup world. And I have to admit, right now, I feel lost. And this time, it feels like on this low point on that life roller coaster, that it's more like a black, long tunnel with that bright light at the end. And this is actually what you drives, right? But sometimes, this drives you, and it also means, yeah, okay, you are actually prepared for the restart because you know, okay, one last step in that bright light, but sometimes you're stuck and something is stopping you from that. And then this bright light becomes smaller and smaller. Yeah, this is my situation right now, or how I feel. And I have also to admit that last week, for example, I wanted to cancel that talk because I thought, how should I actually motivate other people if I'm stuck in that stage or in that state of lost? But then I stepped out of my bubble of self-pityness and realized, hey, actually, it could be like a self-therapy for me. And so, also, to come back to my father, I stopped looking at it like it's a problem. I started looking for a solution. And if there are now 4 things I would like that you take out of my talk today, then they are as followed. Be patient. Be patient with yourself. Cry, shout, feel pity for yourself, like I did last Wednesday. I even, yeah, it was Wednesday last week, I even called Tatjana, yeah, here, she's in the organizing team here, because I was like, oh my God, what should I actually do? Because I have no clue what I should share with people. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But then step out of your bubble of self-pityness and just look forward and say, hey, this high next point on that life roller coaster, I want to reach, so let's go. And also be patient with the situation in total, because loss is mostly triggered by external factors, and you can't influence them at all. So this picture of that black long tunnel actually describes that. But just keep on looking on that bright light and let's drive you, and do not look back because there it's dark. So also be realistic. Think about the worst situation which can actually happen. Most of the time it's not that bad. And if it's really, really bad, then just take this as a trigger to keep on going and or let that leads to more power. Be open. Be open to learning and admitting, even in the current situation, you see no light. And also be open to share your feelings with other people, because then you actually realize you're not the only one who thinks and feels like that. And this is really good. And also it's so inspiring to listen to other people about how they experienced it. So this could be also really good motivation. And I took so much out of the openness of other people. And this is, for example, also a reason why why I'm standing here today, because I took so much, so I tried to give something back. And last but not least, be thankful. This is maybe a cliche, but if you think of it, every single moment where you feel stuck, every single moment where you feel lost, every single moment of loss is an opportunity. It's a gift, because it gives you experience of how to handle, how to behave, how to act the next time different or even better. And if you keep that in mind, you will appreciate those lost moments, because this is what makes you stronger, more motivated to just keep on going. And yeah, like I said, lost is the beginning of found, to find a new solution, to find a new way, to find a new goal, a new thought, to find actually Santa Claus who believes in you. So thank you for your time. Oops.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for the talk. I would like to open the floor to questions. If you have any questions for Stephanie, let's. Do you have any stories to share how you were lost? Let's give the floor open to questions. Please.
Can you maybe share with us another story of you being lost and how you got yourself found again?
I should share another story.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, there was never like this dramatic stroke. Always just those tiny experience. But what I think was one of the experience. I also talked about it at another network event about it, because we had a client meeting where really we came inside of this conference room, and someone told me, or he looked at Tanya and me and said to his employee, "Hey, do you want to sit between those lovely ladies?" And the whole time he was just talking to Sven and did not look at us. And this is really something, okay, it was shitty in that moment. But I also realized I really needed that to wake up, to be more present, to also try to change my behavior of coming into the room and say, "Hey, actually here, please talk to me." And I think this was my key experience of my appearance. And I find a little bit more about myself, how I actually behave and how I should behave. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we talk to other people about being lost, there is also this kind of a tendency of just starting to complain with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it may also be going the wrong direction when basically we just reassure each other, yeah, that's not a problem, like don't worry, we're all in this together. And sometimes it may be a bit tricky because instead of finding a solution, we may fall into, you know, everyone feels like this, it's totally fine, which it is totally fine, but still.
Yeah.
Have you had any experiences like this in the past, and how did you overcome those?
Actually, this is a good thing about founding in a team, because most of the time you're not at that same point, quite often, most of the time, or in a different mood actually. So, for example, I really feel, shit, I want to quit. And for example, Tanya is more like angry about it and just take it as a motivation to keep on going. Hey, no, we just continue. Actually, no. I always talk to people who were in a different stage, and this is also because, yeah, this is what I meant with the openness of other people, because I took so much out of it. But yeah, it could be dangerous. But like I said, sometimes it's also good to actually like, everyone is, it's super stupid. It's so fucked up. Sorry. Fucked up. Yeah, I think it's just the way how you see it in the end. This turning moment where you do not see it as a negative situation anymore, that you're more like positive and optimistic. And yeah, of course, this is really something you have to work on it yourself. No one can influence that, but I try it. Yeah.
I have a question. You mentioned earlier that there was the tunnel, so the hole, and you said like actually you are now in that moment as well. So what is actually the moment? Or is that too personal?
Yeah, the problem is I can't talk about it right now. It's a little bit tricky. But what I wanted to say with that is also this, like, those external factors quite often that you know, okay, it will become better. You're already on that point that you know, okay, it's not that bad. Actually, the situation is really good because you will change something, but it's like, yeah, shit, I can't move forward because something is not changing. This is the situation right now, and I can't share more, but maybe in 1 month it's over. Yeah?
So what is your light?
My light, right now?
What are you looking? What's the end of your tunnel?
Actually, my light. No, that's really romantic right now. No, with no, but for example, Tanya and I, we worked so good together the last 333 days. Yeah. And in the beginning, I was super skeptical about that because, okay, we worked together in that agency as well before, but not that close. And this is really different right now to build your own like company. I was really skeptical, but it turns out that it's really, really good. And I think we can achieve a lot with just like with our power. And this is actually what drives me right now, that I have a good partner on my side to change something. I don't know where now, but we will see. Yeah. So no one has a lost story? Was that too much? Sorry.
Is like your partner dealing even like the man? Is he even dealing with the same problem, kind of lost? Yeah.
Can imagine, yeah. I think so. That
Don't
he's.
talk about that.
We share a lot. This is also good because in the beginning everyone is so. I don't know if I can be open and share that situation, but this is what over the time it becomes better, that you see, okay, it's good to share the feelings, to actually like get feedback and also work on it. So yeah, we talk about it, and I think we are all at the same point right now, but in a different way. Of course, we're different people, but everyone is looking at it differently, and this is, I think, right now also this black tunnel problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you that you've been so brave to share your feelings and your situation. This is not something, you know, easy to say in public, you know. Especially as you mentioned that in social media, when you look at LinkedIn and you go, oh, everything is so fancy, so good, and wow, you're sitting at your desk and oh my god, how am I gonna get through this?
Yes.
Yes, I have as well. What do I get my clients? What are we going to do with this project? I have no idea what to put on paper. This is part of the game.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Yeah, this is part of the game. And when you're stuck, you were asking, Katja, what helps other people. In my case, is what you said, that light. You have to know why are you doing that. And you have to be aware that this is also something that will come. There's no way up like that. If that, then you will really fall down straight away.
True.
First question, it's really back and forth. And if you're aware of that and you know why you're doing that, then it's easier.
Yeah.
You exchange with people like you say, oh, okay, I have my problems, I have my situations and my challenges. And what did you do then? How did you get through that? This helps to know that there are other people not only having that, but also overcoming that.
Yeah.
Then you get a bit better.
Yeah, really. Yeah, thank you.
Good. Well then, thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing this story with us. Thank you everyone for joining. I would kindly invite everyone to still stay here for a while if you'd like to hang out. If you'd like to ask Stephanie any more questions, she will hang out around a little bit as well. And if we just click one final time, the next topic we will be dealing with in December is silence. It's a very interesting topic that we have prepared for you guys. Please make sure that you keep an eye on either our social networks or newsletters, because December session is going to come a bit earlier. It's not going to be the last Friday in the month, as you may imagine. So we would be happy to see you there. We have a beautiful location coming up as well. I want to say one final thanks to Ilza and Co. It has been wonderful being here with you. So have a great morning, everyone. Great weekend, and hope to see you in December.
Thank you.